really tell if that's in focus. It may not be, I don't know. I was going to film this in a lot prettier of a way, but I don't really have the time because I like to spend New Year's Eve cleaning, which is a ridiculous thing to say. I think younger me would be like, cleaning. Christmas just unleashes clutter onto my bedroom because I'm usually incredibly busy, because the past 2 years I was in retail, and then this year I was doing theater. I wasn't doing theater, but I was working for a theater. I still am. But we, like any regional theater across the United States and possibly the UK, we were doing A Christmas Carol. There was like hundreds of productions across the, I found this year in regional theater, you're doing one of three things. You are either putting on the Nutcracker Ballet, White Christmas, or Christmas Carol. Any version of A Christmas Carol. We have a specific one that we do, and other people do that version or whatever version they like. But even though I was surrounded by Christmas stuff for over a month, it was very hard to kind of get into the like spirit, especially also it was 50 degrees for most of it. But anyways, I'm looking to start another yearly project, because 2022 was interesting, and 2023 I was trying something different. I was doing more with shorts, because I've been doing more music, which has been interesting. It's not really something I expected to really lean into, but it was something I was dabbling in 2022, and I just leaned into in 2023. But also, at the end of 2022, when I finished my yearly project, I wrote myself a letter and taped it to the back of a journal I started that year. It's not done by any means. I've been using it as kind of like, I've been doing some seminars and things, so I've been using it as sort of a school notebook, but basically I was telling myself, do not open until, I don't know if this is focused or not, do not open until December 31st, 2023. Well, it is December 23rd, I'm so sorry, my brain's broken. December 31st. And I don't remember what I wrote myself, but I've always liked to do stuff like this. I used to leave like notes to my future self just to find later, because it felt like time travel. It was so cool. I was like sending it into the future. Oh, there's the mailman. Oh, it's not very long. Oh, it's 2 pages. Okay. 2 pages front and back? Or just 2 pages? We're gonna read it. I'll bleep out things if stuff gets personal. Are we blurring again? Or am I just hallucinating? Am I just blind? I might be blind. Okay. Alright. This was written January 2nd, 2023. It says, Dear future me, so we're 26 now. What's that like? I was not 26 when I wrote this, but I am now. It's stressful. Let's just say that. Figuring out insurance has been a pain in the butt. Currently, I can't pick up my headache medication because it thinks I'm still on my old insurance, which I am not, but for some reason will not give me my medication until I straighten that out. I don't really know who I'm supposed to talk to for that, so in the new year, one of my very first things I'm going to do is straighten that out. But yeah, did we have a good birthday? Yes, we did. You went to a supernatural convention this year for your 26th birthday, basically in reference to this line here. And it was great, and you couldn't post about it a lot because of the writers' strike, which you have not heard about yet. The writers and the actors went on strike. We'll get into that later. I said better than 25 at least? Yes, better than 25. And then on my actual birthday, you and Ren just went to the bookstore and Ren bought you some books. And that was great. Right now we're starting The Artist's Way and Agent Goals, which is a seminar I was doing at the time. Did either of them do anything for you? Artist's Way, and I've been getting a lot of content for Artist's Way. If it works for you, great. I don't want to take that away from you. It is not conducive if you are neurodivergent, or if you're really strapped for cash. There are just certain things, and granted the book was written in like the 1990s, but if you are an early virgin, I found a lot of frustration with The Artist's Way, and you quit halfway through. Agent goals, you've gotten pretty much all of the way, except for you haven't completed your package yet. You haven't put together I have to put together a package to submit to agents and managers. Right now that's on pause, just because of something else that you're starting this year that's going to take up some of your time, at least till the spring. Okay. Did we even keep up? Not really. Not really. It says, I did morning pages today, and my hand hurts. Did we get an agent? You did not. Did we book an acting job? Yes, kind of. It's on hold right now. I don't want to talk about it right now because stuff's going on with it. You did, technically, there is something you were supposed to film last year, or something you were supposed to film in 2023 that ended up getting stalled. Are we still living at home? Yes, we are. Is Mimi okay? Mimi is great. Mimi tore both of her ACLs, and she was limping around this time last year, and now she's much better and has 2 bionic legs. Is Dad okay? Did he pass? Dad is fine, and yes, they did. So that was the beginning of the year. So we've moved on. Things are good. Things are better. How are Logan and Liz and Drew? Do we still talk? You talk to Logan and Liz. You do not speak to blank. Not because anything happened. They just ghosted and you never heard from them again. Are we still working in the box office? Yes, you are. You're trying to find another job, just something that pays you a little better. Is it still fun? It says right now for me, it depends on the day. Yes. Right now you still love your coworkers for the most part, but there are days where you just get very stressed and would like to be doing other things. And you are a little short-staffed. Nobody left, it's just like schedules have been very weird. Right now for me, it depends on the day. What theater did we see this year? We saw the entire season of the theater you work at. We also saw, the most recent thing we saw was Moulin Rouge at the Bushnell on tour, so that was cool. What else did you see? You saw Lizzie at a local theater near you, which was super, super cool and badass. You had bad seats though, so you couldn't really see it super well, and then the cast came to see your show. You also got a little more involved with the shows in your job, because you got to help out one of the actresses in Pride and Prejudice, run her lines. You got to work with her really closely, and you're helping out with auditions now, which is really cool. What theater did we see this year and what movies? So you saw, actually I have a Letterboxd. So one of my resolutions last year was to watch a lot more movies, and I think you did okay in January. You kind of petered off as time went on because you tend to be a TV girl. Let's be honest. We can talk about TV as well. So this year, first of all, the most recent movie you saw was Wonka, starring Timothée Chalamet. I don't even know if a trailer for that has come out yet when you wrote this. Tracking backwards, where is my diary? There we go. You saw Wonka, then you saw The Marvels, which you do ask about, and I will get into that in a sec. You saw Priscilla. You watched My Bloody Valentine for the first time. It was not very good. You watched a movie called Please Stand By, which you really liked. You watched a movie called Theater Camp, which was really funny, but also very triggering. You watched Last Night in Soho, which you gave 5 stars. It was very good. You did not breathe for the whole 2 hours. You watched Barbie, which completely just like July was the summer of the girlies. It was the summer of the girlies. You have that to look forward to. Red, White, and Royal Blue. It was an okay adaptation. You gave it like 3 stars. You watched Emily, which you wanted to like more, but you didn't. You watched Judy Blume Forever, which was a documentary about Judy Blume, and then your mom met Judy Blume, which was really cool. You saw Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which you didn't even bother to rate. That was in February. In January, you watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which ended up being incredible. The Menu, which you also really liked, because you and Ren were going into this phase of like watching weird movies that our parents don't want to watch. You watched Come On, Come On with Joaquin Phoenix, which was really good. I think it made you cry, although I don't remember much about it now. You watched She Said, which you also gave 5 stars. And you watched Clara, which was something you hadn't heard about. I think your uncle suggested it to you, and you watched it, and it was about space, and it was cool. And those are all the movies you watched this year. Did The Marvels come out? Yes, it did. On the last day of the strike. So the strike ended, and you got to go see The Marvels. So unfortunately, you didn't get a lot of press to watch. I know you were looking forward to Iman Vellani's press tour. They did a little more after, but unfortunately, like, The Marvels did not do super well at the box office. However, it was one of the best Marvel movies of the year. Do not pay any attention to what men say. Reviews loved it. People liked it. Men are just mean. It was your favorite Marvel movie. It's your new favorite Marvel movie. It's great. It says, weird question. Are we dating anyone? The answer is most likely no. No, you are not. You're not dating anybody. No shame either. It's our nature. Yes, it is. And then I wrote, oh my god, how was Taylor Swift? Did you get anxious? Were you okay? Did you meet her? Did we meet Taylor Swift? We did not meet Taylor Swift. We did go to Taylor Swift. It was amazing. Your health was fine through the whole thing. It was great. Did she release anything else after Midnight? Yes, she did. She released Speak Now Taylor's version and 1989 Taylor's version, and the bonus tracks were amazing. So you have that to look forward to. Did Reputation's Taylor's version come out? No, it did not. There is a theory right now that it may be a surprise drop on New Year's Day. Unfortunately for us, the Reputation Stadium Tour left Netflix last night, which we hope is a good sign. We're not sure. Next. Okay, enough Taylor. Also, low-key hope she's okay. There's a lot of psychos out there. Yes, she's fine. She's fine. She's safe. She's dating somebody new. Oh, you don't know this yet. She and Joe broke up. That's a huge deal. She's dating a football player now. His name is Travis Kelce. He seems very nice. I know nothing about football still. But if your parents have football on and they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, you might spot some Taylor Swift. So there you go. Did we keep up with YouTube? In a way. You did a lot more shorts this year, so you were able to get more views on your YouTube channel with a little bit less work. But you do miss long form editing a lot. So that's why we're doing this. Did we start the Patreon? I wanted to start a Patreon last year. I just don't have enough people to really justify doing one yet. That is a goal I have. I just don't really know what I would do with it yet. Did we grow on social media? Yeah, a little bit. You grew on TikTok a little bit. You haven't hit like 1,000 followers, but you've just been posting regularly. And yeah, it's been great. It says, I know we hate it, but we need to do it. Yes, we do. How's our health? Right now, our biggest issues are migraines and nausea and back pain. Are we better now? You have medication for your migraines. So this morning you woke up with one. But it's not like a full day thing anymore. It's not something that takes you out the way it used to. So basically it just, you have all kinds of tools now. I have a headache cap that you put in the freezer, and even when it's not cold, like, it still feels nice and cool, like just the way it's made. You also have a migraine lamp that you got for Christmas. It emits green light, and it just helps you, it just soothes the brain a bit, which is great. The nausea, you still get it every so often, just with anxiety, but you haven't really had any bad, massive anxiety things, which has been great. Back pain, it comes and goes. You know the deal. It's never gonna go away. What's going on in the world? Right now, there is a massive global conflict going on between Palestine and Israel. It is kind of the main thing going on in the news. There's a war in Ukraine, which I think we already knew about by the time I wrote this, but there's a lot going on, and it is very hard to read the news as per usual. What famous people have done stupid things? Let's think about it. To keep things lighter. Actually, you and your coworker did go through a list of the biggest pop culture weird things. Let's see. Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are dating, which everybody finds weird, but you don't find weird. just because you feel like they're on the same level intellectually. That's not a dig, I promise. What famous people have done stupid things? Gwyneth Paltrow was sued, or she sued someone. There was a lawsuit involving Gwyneth Paltrow and skiing. That was random. I'm trying to think. There was nothing as big as Don't Worry, Darling. Okay, I'm watching this back, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not mentioning several things. Ariana Grande is dating the guy who played SpongeBob on Broadway. She divorced her husband. I'm pretty sure they dated first, though. Like, they cheated on their spouses. They cheated on their spouses, and now they're dating. And they're just cool about it. And this happened on the set of the Wicked movie. That happened. Prince Harry's book came out. That was weird. I know you didn't read it, but you definitely saw all the headlines. Barbara Streisand's book also came out. It's this big, and the audiobook is 48 hours long. The pages, you looked at it in a bookstore, and the pages are Bible thin. So you're just gauging information from headlines. I'm trying to think, what other weird stuff did, like, famous people do this year? I don't know. Everybody was breaking up. Everybody was, like, dating random people. Did he run for re-election? He is. He's also in... We know what I'm referring to. He is also still, I think, on trial for all of it. Yes. There's another politician who we all hate named George Santos because he's a liar. And not even just about political things. He claims he was a producer on Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Which, if you're going to align yourself with the Broadway musical, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark is not the one to align yourself with. Let's see. Did he run for re-election? Are we doomed for 2020 part 2? Please say no. We don't know yet because this is the election year. We don't know yet. Do we still have bangs? In a way, yes. You turned them into curtain bangs, kind of. You want to look like Kitty Winter from Elementary again. There's like a weird cowlicky thing. She cut them and then you cut them shorter because you don't like them going past your eyebrows. And now it's kind of crooked because of the headache cap mostly, and just you can't get it to... You were doing side bangs for a while again because, yeah. But we're trying to stay away from blunt bangs right now. Let's see, what else? Did we get sick of them and grow them out? In a way. How long is our hair? Right now I'm trying to grow it out. I don't think it's ever going to grow past this point, to be honest. But it's above our boobs. And you got layers. So it's not quite as blunt. You're hoping to be better about styling your hair this year. This doesn't look so bad. You kind of want it to be a little, like, choppy and messy, like Rockstar. Like, I don't know. You just want it to be less clean cut. See, it keeps being flat. I want it to curve, and it won't. Did you try the stunt gym? No, we didn't. We just didn't have the time. We didn't have the time. Are we going to the gym at all? We still are. Once a week, when we can. And it's fine. Ooh, what books did we read? Let's see. It wasn't a big reading year for you. You surpassed, like, one over your goal for this year. So you wanted to read 26 books. You read 27. So you did a lot of different things. The last thing we finished was The People We Keep, which is, you read a lot of books about musicians this year. You read My Body by Emily Ratajkowski. You read The Half of It by Madison Beer, who you didn't know any of her music until that book. You read Under the Influence, which was a crazy book about influencers. You read Ripe by Sarah Rose Etter, which was like a weird, absurdist, anti-capitalist book, which was fun. You reread Gina X Finn, or Gina/Finn, which you read in 2016, and you read it again this year. You read a few graphic novels. So you read Through the Woods by Emily Carroll, because you and Ren went to Mystic with your dad, and went to this crazy, like, horror bookshop, and that was in there. You read a book called Everyone is Tulip, which is also a graphic novel. And then you read all of Gwenpool's comic run. You also read another graphic novel called It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth by Zoe Thorogood, and now you follow her on Instagram. And you read another graphic novel called This Is How I Disappear by Marian Mallet. It was in French, and then it was translated to English. You also read The Home for Wayward Girls by Marsha Bradley. Really unexpected, banger. Super good. You read another book called Jane and Edward. It was a romance novel that was based off Jane Eyre, and it was one of the best things you ever read this year. You read a book called The Daydreams, which was just like, it fed your early 2000s Disney Channel fangirl. You read Dance Nation by Claire Barron for your acting class. You read Phantom Heart by Kelly Craig, Creagh, which was a Phantom of the Opera adaptation. You thought initially it was going to be super lame, and it ended up just wrecking you at the end. You finished A Little Life. You read The Strange Ones by Jeremy Jusey, also a graphic novel. You read Writers and Lovers by Lily King, which became a really quick favorite. Same with Girls They Write Songs About. I think that was your first 5-star of the year. You read The Scum Manifesto, which is a piece of feminist literature that's like hardcore, very angry. Same with the book I Hate Men. And then your first book of the year was This Doesn't Mean Anything, which was an asexual romance novel. So you really liked that. Those were the books you read this year. Yeah, any new favorites? Yes. Girls They Write Songs About was a favorite. Did Kathleen publish anything new? No. She's due, though. She's supposed to have more. She went on book tour a lot this year, which you didn't get to see her anywhere because she wasn't close by. But is Girl in Pieces a movie in the works? I have no idea. I have to ask Kathleen. I don't think it is. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Kathleen Glasgow. She wrote Girl in Pieces and we're buds. Okay, what was next? How are our faves? How's Hugh Laurie? How's Brie Larson? How's Josh Radnor? Any new music from him? Yes, Josh Radnor put out a whole album this year. You have not listened to it. You just haven't gotten around to it. Brie Larson's great. She is, she did the Marvels. She did a little press for the Marvels. Hugh Laurie is also very good. He is in a series called All the Light We Cannot See, which you still have not watched because you haven't finished the book. And you also heard it wasn't a great adaptation, but you still want to watch it. Yeah, and then he also liked a post on Twitter of someone who built a gingerbread house. Like, that was a pun. But yeah, they're all good. Everything's good. Speaking of music, did we write anything this year? Did we attempt to release anything? We wrote a lot. The one time you'd really tried to like put attention on a song on TikTok, you got like shadow banned. It just like, you just ended up in view jail that week, which happened to, I guess, a lot of people, so it wasn't just you. But you wrote a lot, actually. Sherlock Holmes entered the public domain. What are people doing with that? Not a lot, surprisingly. And also, so Sherlock entered the public domain last year. Mickey Mouse enters the public domain this year. So that's gonna get weird, especially since people are kind of mad at Disney right now. But this year was kind of a return to form for you because there is a new Sherlock adaptation. It is called Sherlock & Co., and it is a podcast, and you love it. It feels very BBC Sherlock-esque, but healthier and really, really faithful to the books. Like, so it's just, it feels like them, but it also feels different and fresh, and it's great. And you just listened to the most recent episode last night, which was The Blue Carbuncle, which was just wild. There's so many funny moments. I think it's so well done. It's something you look forward to every Tuesday, and you love it. And the fandom is slowly growing. It's not quite at BBC Sherlock level of whatever. However, it did make Sherlock trend on Tumblr for the first time in several years. Okay. Were the new seasons of your shows? Did Avenue 5 get reviewed? Oh, get renewed? No, it did not. It got canceled. So, ended on a cliffhanger. How was All the Light We Cannot See? I don't know. Okay, I also realized I'm just not answering the questions I asked. So I asked about seasons of my TV shows, and then I just talked about Avenue 5 and All the Light We Cannot See. Seasons of my TV shows. So The Boys does not have a new season, and also because of the strike, you didn't really get to watch a lot of new TV. So you didn't get a new season of The Boys, but you got a show called Gen V, which sort of serves as like The Boys season 3.5. So it was like a spin-off, but it does connect directly to the show. You loved every second of it. It was absolutely disgusting. There was also many, many supernatural references that were driving you insane. Hilda came out with its third and final season. You and Mom are currently working your way through that. I also asked about Brie Larson. I mentioned the Marvels, but she was also in an adaptation of the book Lessons in Chemistry, which you got part of the way through and didn't finish. That's a big theme with you in books this year. You just didn't finish a lot. What other TV did I watch? There's a show on Apple TV Plus called The Buccaneers, which you thought was an original. Turns out it is based off an Edith Wharton novel, but it's in the spirit of, like, Dickinson, that it's, like, period piece with modern sensibilities. You like it. You're not done with it yet. You were kind of, like, you watched the beginning of it, and then you watched, like, the middle recently. What else? You and Dad are almost done with Lucifer. And you are on season 9 of Supernatural with him right now. Also, Letterkenny is ending this year. The final season was just released, so you're working your way through that with him every week. Archer also ends this year, but you have plenty to go on that. What else did I watch this year? Well, funny, okay, so the strike didn't start till July, so you got really into, and it's coming back in February, a new show on ABC called Will Trent, which is based off a series of books that don't really feel accurate to the TV show, but you loved it because it's the quirky detective story done better. Like, it's quirky detective, but it's not, like, he's not mean, and he has a bit of a neurodivergent. I don't want to give away, because, like, I don't want to give away what his thing is, but there's a neurodivergent slant there, and they do it in a way I haven't seen before, where they really talk about how he they show how he compensates. And I feel like that's something that doesn't get talked about. I just loved it. I just thought it was fresh. It was just nice. It was nice to see. It wasn't the same tropey stuff I was used to. And I loved it. It was great. So yeah, Will Trent, and it did get renewed for a new season, and it's coming back in February because everybody filmed late this year. Also, David Tennant's in Doctor Who again. There were 3 specials that were released with him in it on Disney Plus. So that's how we watch it in America now, I guess. You have not watched Doctor Who, obviously, in quite some time. And you watched the first 2 specials and cried. Because it just felt like the magic was back. And then we do have the first special with the new Doctor. And it looks... You haven't watched it yet, but it just looks incredible. So yeah, when we talk about return to form, Sherlock is back in a new fun way, and Doctor Who is also back in a new fun way. Yeah, but I'm just, like, you just didn't talk about them, so we're gonna... Did we get any new beasts? You have 11 currently. I did not, actually. I have no new beasts. And right now, a framed photo of you and Jensen Ackles is blocking half of them, because that's the only place you could put your picture. Yes, you met Jensen Ackles this year. Let's see, is the war in Ukraine still going on? Yes, it is, unfortunately. What ended up happening to Twitter? Right now, Elon Musk is running it into the ground. It's still running into the ground. It's still bad, and you're not on it, so it's fine. Is TikTok still a big thing? Yes. Are we still on Tumblr? Yes. It says it's 1 year, but who knows? All right, I think that's enough questions for now. See you soon. 25-year-old Lindsey. I knew exactly what to ask. Big year. Definitely, like, I'm, like, truly, like, returned to form. Like, just in terms of, like, me. Like, I got to do so many things that I wanted to do this year. And I had a lot of realizations, and I've, like, sort of begun a bit of an unmasking journey when it comes to my, like, ADHD. I've sort of stopped putting on a front, like, in public, and, like, if I need something, I take it. And yeah, it's good things. I got to go to 2 conventions this year, like 2 fan conventions. Like, I got to go to Kineticon in Hartford, and that was the first time I'd done that in 10 years, almost. I think the last time I went was 2014, and, like, what a difference. And you got to go to Supernatural, and you made friends. You made friends. You have a friend. You have a new friend. Her name's Elle, and, like, she just happened to get placed next to you at the Supernatural convention because you had assigned seats, and you got so lucky with who you were sat with. And she's gonna come visit you, and then you're gonna see each other again because you're going again. You're going back to DC, so that's super, super cool. You kept up with a daily calendar the whole year. you would miss a few days here and there, but you would catch up. So you had a Bob's Burgers calendar, and then anything with Teddy on it, you would give to Kevin. Anything with Linda on it, you would give to Mom. All I know is you really want to clean today. You really want to clean. You want to like clean your bathroom, clean your room, empty all your trash. Yeah, just so you can start with a clean slate. You gotta update your calendar. You have another calendar. It's the same. It's kind of the same. I talked too long, so my camera shut off. That's everything. That's everything. I should eat my breakfast because it's cold now. Because I couldn't wait. I just had to do this. I just wanted to read the letter so bad. So here's to 2024.